Again, multiple new concepts and new practicals, right? I'll try, guys, my best to take as much as topic, and whatever topics, guys, we'll discuss. I'll try to create some real case scenarios and try to also implement, right? So till date, guys, I believe hundreds of different use cases and the practicals we have seen, and we have also implemented those use cases. Okay, so let's continue. The plan for today would be more about S3. What is S3? Everybody know is object storage. Okay, but it is a big service, and there's lots of advanced concepts, a lot of different feature and the facilities S3 provide to us. Okay, so we will go and move to those part. Maybe if you want to host your own website without configuring any web server, if this is the requirement, S3 will help you. If you implement some kind of security, some rules on your objects, if this is the use case you have, if you want to implement replication, or I can say geo replication, right? If this is the use case you have, or if you talk about chorus, okay, if you talk about pre signed URL. So like this, there's a lot of lots of concepts, guys, we have in the S3. So it's small concept, but very useful based upon the scenario. So let me directly jump to our practicals. And while showing you the practical, guys, I'll explain you. I'll explain you the use of these services, right? So, or these features, I can say. Okay, so let me directly jump to AWS cloud, and by practicals, let explain you every bit of these services, and I'll try, guys, to show you with the pure practical, or I can say with the pure hands-on. Okay, so let me log in with the cloud, and we'll discuss that. Okay. So I'll move to S3. What is S3? We discuss, and lots of things about S3, guys, we have already discussed. Okay, maybe versioning in my initial class of S3, we discussed maybe how to connect S3 with Lambda, some event triggers, those things we discussed, different storage classes they have, glaciers tape archive they have. So those concepts I explained you. Plus, so I also show you the demo on those part, right? So today, the plan is to talk some more feature or advanced feature of S3. These are the few topic, maybe some more new topic might be there. So let me guess, go and implement one by one about this. Okay, to showing this, what I'm doing here, I'm going to create a new bucket. Okay, let's say give the bucket called Linux World bucket new 2021. Okay, or let me give the name Linux World A bucket new 2021, and I'm putting, guys, this bucket in Mumbai. Okay, and by default, guys, in this bucket is block all public access. Means if you put any objects here, they are blocked. Nobody publicly can access your bucket, and whatever objects you have in the bucket, nobody can access. So these are good things, or by default, this is the facility they have. And encryption, guys, we have already discussed. And that's all. So let me create a bucket. So there's a new bucket has been created. The bucket is Linux for a new bucket. Okay, and if you see here, the by default policy of this bucket is bucket and the object is not public. Bucket, it's like a folder. Object, it is a one file that you put inside this bucket. So they are not public. What I mean by this, if I go and click and upload any objects here or file here. So let me add, sorry, not a folder. Let me upload some file, and one minute. So let me upload some file. Maybe this one. So this file uploaded. Okay, and this is the location of this file. And if I upload, so file has been uploaded. But by default, any file or bucket, this called folder here, is secure. Nobody can publicly access. It means if you give this URL, you guys know every file or object has a unique URL. So if you give this URL, okay, to anybody, so let me for new window, if I type this URL, and if you also have this URL, by default this message come access denied. Okay, this message come up. So this concept, guys, we had discussed in my initial classes. So what is the plan? So if you want, anybody can access this particular bucket. Inside this bucket, they can access access this image. So now we have two options to make this is accessible. Okay, the first option would be, okay, I'll go to my bucket and I make my bucket public. Then I go inside this bucket. I will go for this file that's called object. I also make my file also public. That's what we know, guys, how to do it. So in this case, anybody who have this URL can access your document or this particular image. Okay, but let's say we have one scenario. We are the online movie streaming kind of company, and we had created one bucket and lots of files we put here, but this file is not a file. They are the movie movie 1, movie 2, right? Multiple movie we have. Okay, and you have created your own app. Okay, maybe mobile app or web app, where somebody come and purchase one movie either for the full time, or that's called lifetime, or maybe for some time, let's say for 1 day access. Okay, so they purchase that. So what I want, anyone who has purchased this movie, only this guy, for example, let's say I am the one, Vimal, and I purchased this movie. Movie is what? This is one of the file or object. Maybe company has put those object in the bucket, in the folder. So I want only this guy, only this guy who purchased this movie, can access this movie. Now, challenge, guys, here is technically this is a user. We don't know the IP address of this guy. Maybe this user might don't have an account in AWS cloud, right? So obviously I can't tell to anyone, if you want to buy the movie, first create account in AWS, right? If they have the account in AWS, then every account has unique ID, this is called account ID. And we have some concept where we can say, if anybody who has this account ID, allow this account ID to see this object or this bucket. So technically still Vimal is a public user. Okay, and I want, even though this is public, so I want this public user, only this one, have access to this file or this movie or this object. And if you want to do this now, one of the approach would be, I can make my bucket public or file public. If you do so, so anybody, even though without purchase, they can go to this URL and can see your video, or they can see your movie. Okay, so the challenge here is, I want only this guy can see this object even though they are in the public. Okay, so for this app, guys, for this kind of use case, we have a concept here. What concept we have? So this is a URL. Okay, after Vimal or any user from my website or web app purchase this movie, so this URL, what we'll do, there's a concept called sign. So what are the URL we have the object on in my S3? So this particular URL will sign it. Okay, this is called pre-signed URL. And after sign this, we'll provide this URL to the Vimal. What I mean by sign, typically you can think we create some kind of unique password, or maybe technically here it's called token. Okay, and we will add those tokens somewhere in the last, something like this, question mark token, uh, token equals to some number, something like this. Okay, so we'll provide this URL or unique URL to the Vimal and say this is a URL to you. Okay, and this is a token to you, and if you use this token, this URL with this token, and by chance in this case this URL is known as pre-signed URL. If you attach some token to this URL, so only Vimal, or I can say anybody who has this URL with this token, can access this. And technically, because now this URL will only access by token, so we can decide our expiry time also. So we can say, let's say expiry would be 1 day, or maybe expiry will be infinite. So depend upon your business plan, right? You want user to have access only for 1 day, 7 days, 1 week, or lifetime. So accordingly, you can put your expiry time also. Okay. So how can we pre-sign the URL? So I think you understand the use case. Again, guys, I don't want my bucket to be public. I don't want my object to be public. Okay, but I want public guys or limited public guys can access this. This is the use case I have. So for this, we can go for pre-signed URL. Okay, so how we can go for this? So again, still guys, my object is not public. How I know? You can go to permission here. Not in the permission, maybe you can go to this one. And if you go to folder, you can see there inside the folder, it is not public. Okay, or maybe in the URL, maybe some of the options you can go and check. This one is also not public. Okay, so how can you pre-sign it? So I don't think so, guys. They give you any graphical way to sign your URL. There's no graphical way to sign this guy. Either you can go for SDK, maybe some kind of language you use, Java, Python, something. So anybody who are in the developer track, so next class I will focus more on the developer, some of the few topic left in the developer track. So there I show you how to use SDK by a language called Python. So either you can use SDK to sign the URL, or there's some command line also options also the support. So because I believe, guys, everybody is comfortable with the command line. So let me use the AWS and we are talking about S3, and here they have an option called pre-sign and S3, and there you have to tell the URI, not URL. URI means the URL where this object located, not this URL. This is the HTTP URL that we need in the application or maybe in the browser. So this is a URL we have to provide and say, I want to sign this particular URL. Okay. And obviously you have to tell over here in which region they are in. So by default, guys, in my AWS, I already configured my local system, a region called Mumbai, but we can also write here. So my region here is where I put this object is AP South 1. Okay, this is a URL, and here you can pass your expiry date also. Expiry PI expiry. I think the option may be in. You can just go and check the manual, guys. You don't have to memorize, and we can put, let's say, expiry 300. Okay, so that's all. So one click, they give you a new URL. URL is same, but in the last they add some keyword and the values, and the most important keyword here is this one, AG credential, and this is the big token I was talking about. Okay, and they also mention about here the expiry time, how long this URL to be active, and here they put the timestamp. So from this timestamp till this much, I think in seconds, this URL active. So without making my bucket, without making my object public, anybody who has this particular URL, okay, and if they try to put this URL, maybe I can put here. So what you will see, this object cover. This object cover, even though it's not public. So anybody who knows my URL finally they can't access, even though it's not public. But anybody who has a pre-signed URL, they can do it. So the good use case for this is the movie streaming, these kind of website. So anybody purchase, behind the scene, we have some Python SDK or Java SDK. They go and run this kind of command, get the unique URL, and this URL, guys, they add in their application on the fly. So anybody who know like in HTML5, we can put this URL, so directly they can get the access. Only that account, because inside of that account login, we put this URL. So it's a pure now the game of the developer, how they create web applications. So anybody who know full stack development, maybe with Python, maybe with Node.js or AngularJS or MERN stack, something like this. So you can use your skills to do create a component. But for the AWS perspective, this is the only thing you have to do. So this is one small topic. That's all about this topic. Let's go pre-sign. What is a use case? I explained to you. Okay. Now, next point over here to understand is if you want to make this particular bucket public, let's say this is your comment you have. So you guys know how we can do it. So this is the bucket. Okay, I am inside the bucket. There's an option called permissions. And here you can go and edit this. Allow. So now your bucket become public. So maybe guys, you have some kind of open source software and you want to share the software to anyone, something like this. So you can go and make it this bucket public. Obviously, this is a good, very important security concern. They ask you to confirm, and now it is public. Okay, now this particular bucket is public. You guys know we had discussed in my initial classes. So as you put the bucket public, so everything inside the bucket is also public. Okay. It means if you go to this particular URL, right? Let's forget about pre-sign. Now there's no need of pre-sign because it is public. So anybody know this URL, they can still access, but they can't because we had only make a folder or bucket public. My object is not yet public. So what can we do? This concept we know. We can go for this particular object. Okay, and there's option called make public. This thing we discussed. So if we click here, okay, and make public, so this object become public. Okay, now if I again refresh, now we can see it. So anybody in the public world without having pre-signed, they can also see it. This is second approach to do it. But here the challenge, guys, over here is, if in this bucket, if you have thousands of objects and thousands of file, every time we have to go to every object and click and say make public. So it takes a lot of time to do it. Okay, so what I want, all the file in this bucket become public. Or I have a requirement, I want to do some control. Maybe I have one more account, only those account can access my these objects. Or maybe I have a requirement, I want this object can be accessed between time morning 10 o'clock to evening 5 o'clock. Okay, or maybe I have a requirement, I want in this bucket I want to make a constraint that only if you want to upload the file, it is compulsory to encrypt this file. If anybody upload this file in this bucket without encryption, guys, what is encryption? I'm talking about server-side encryption or client-side encryption, SSE or KMS. So if you want to keep a constraint here, maybe because of good security practices, because if you give anybody options that upload the file here, maybe other team, they keep on uploading. But if you want to make a constraint here that if you want to upload anything here, it is compulsory to upload with encryption. If you don't do so, I won't allow. So these are the things, guys. If any of these kind of use case, if you want to implement, then there's a concept called bucket policy. So in S3, every bucket we can define their own bucket policy. Policy means I want to give access my bucket only to some of the AWS account, or I want to give my bucket access only some IAM user in my account. Okay. So guys, this concept, these guys are known as principles. Principle. So which principle? Technically, account username is equal to principal. You can think in this way. So which account you want to give access, or which IAM user you want to give access. Okay. Or I want to give access between time morning 10 o'clock to evening 6 o'clock. Or I want to set a constraint that anybody upload something in this bucket is compulsory to put SSE encryption or KMS encryption or something like that. Or maybe we can go for more strict. If I go for SSE, I want EES 256 algorithm to be used. I don't want DES or ES 128 algorithm. I want this bucket to be very strict in terms of security. Without this level encryption, I don't want to allow. So any of these kind of use case and more use case, right? If you want to set up a constraint, or it's called policy, then we can do a bucket policy. How we can do? So this is the bucket I'm in right now. Okay, let's go to the permissions over here. Okay, before this, guys, let me quickly open your document, because multiple commands and multiple steps we are going to do today. Okay, so first of all, let me share this command. Okay, now so how we can go? We can go for first inside your bucket. There's an option called permissions, because we are talking more about security. Okay, and here this concept we discussed already. This is more about access control list. Means who can access and what, something like this. So publicly we allow. This is a different point altogether. But here, guys, there's a concept called bucket policy. And here you can go and write your policy. Okay, and policy you have to write in a JSON format. So guys, if you remember, we had discussed our IAM policy, right? So that is a different perspective. IAM policy means which user can access which service. Okay, for example, here I create a user called let's say Jack. So in my account, what Jack can do? Okay, which service they use? They can use EC2. In EC2, what they can do? They can start the instance, terminate the instances. That is called IAM policy. Okay, this is a different concept, but here the concept is bucket policy. Here in this bucket, okay, who can access this bucket? Which account can access? What constraint you want to send? Which time period you want to allow? Which restriction you want to implement, right? So those condition, if you want to enforce only in particular bucket or per bucket wise, then the role of bucket policy come in play. But the way you create IAM policy, there, guys, I discussed in very detail about IAM policy. Something the syntax of the policy is somehow seen. So I can go here and edit. And I can type writing the policy. Okay, or there's a lot of examples here. You can go and check the examples of some sample example here. Okay, write the policy. Okay, the policy would be something like this. Okay, so policy here is there's a principal. Principal means who can access. So in my AWS, we have some account. Maybe this may be anybody else account. There were more accounts, 2 account I added with comma. Okay, and their root account. So this is the account ID of AWS, and there's a root account, or maybe Jack account or Eric account. So I'm allowing, effect is allowing.
Okay, so I'm allowing something. What I'm allowing two things. Put objects means they can upload the object, or maybe some more policy I want to allow. There's collection. And resource means in which S3. So here I can put my S3 object name, so bucket name, and star means my object name. Okay, something like that. And condition would be maybe I can say public read. So anything I write, I can do only in public read, something like that. So this is one simple example here, but this kind of statement, guys, we have seen already in detail, step by step. I created in my IAM policy classes. Okay, but something like this. So here we have more example. So any user, either in your account, IAM user, or any other account, they are allowing access. Okay, what they do, they can get the object from this part. So what I'm doing, guys, let me copy this one, paste it. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm allowing any of the account. Okay, if they want to do get object, what is get object? This is called get object. Okay, they can do it. Where? On this resource. Resource means bucket. And by chance I know my bucket name because I'm there inside this bucket only. Let me copy from here and paste. Okay, and then slash and which file. So you might have multiple file, so you can specify here your object name, maybe vimal.jpg. Okay, or maybe go to start. It means inside this bucket all the all the objects. And guys, by the way, this object name is also known as key name. So whenever guys you heard the term key name in S3, it means the file name of the object. So file name is equals to key name. So here star means I'm allowing all the keys. So technically what I'm doing, I create a policy. Okay, that in this bucket, any object come up, okay, they are allowed by default. Okay, that's what I'm writing. And get only for get. Okay. So let me save this. Permission will be saved. They give this a red mark. It doesn't mean it's error. They're just trying to warn you. Allowing publicly is very dangerous. Anybody can see of your objects. But let's say this is okay for us. So let me go for this option. Okay. Now what happened? So in this bucket, this object we have, let me upload one more object in this bucket. And let me upload this file. Okay, this file uploaded. And I'm not making, guys, this file public. But if I take this URL, paste, I can see it. Even though without clicking in this particular file manually and say make it public. Okay, without this is become public because I set a constraint. I set a policy in my bucket. As soon as you upload anything here, make it public. And how we have done, I go inside the bucket, I go inside the permissions. Okay, and here we have created a bucket policy. Okay, so that's what we have done. So depend, guys, what policy you want to do here. Let me add one more policy here, very much interesting and very advanced policy here. So let's say I want whenever anything upload in this bucket, I want that while uploading any object here, this concept called put, it is compulsory that my file to be encrypted. Okay, for this, what I'm doing here, I'm going to edit this policy again, and let me write more policy here. Okay, but guys, you don't have to create this kind of policy by yourself. Either go for examples, copy paste, and do some small changes, or obviously, because mostly, guys, we have very much kind of custom requirement. So this option called policy generator here. This is one kind of application here. This will help you to create this JSON document automatically. Okay, so here you have to select your policy type. Okay, so I'm not going for IAM policy. We had discussed already. Here we are going for S3 bucket policy. Okay, and what I want to let's say restrict deny. So I want to deny everything. Okay, and why? I want any of the account who have a power to upload in this in this bucket. Okay, so I want to deny everything. Okay, and action would be, let's say, put. I don't want anybody can put anything. So let me go and search for put object. Okay, so okay, and where in this ARN, you guys know what is ARN. So in this bucket, you guys know the bucket name. I'm putting the bucket. Okay, so in this bucket, I am denying everything. For what? For put. So I selected put here. So put we have denied. Okay, let me add the statement. This policy created, and if you click generate policy, this code automatic created. Let me copy this code, copy and paste here. Okay, let me remove the older one so we can focus more in this part. So technically, nobody can put anything in this bucket. Why? Because effect is denied. And let me save this policy. And now what you'll see, action does not apply to any resources in the statement. Because I believe, because you have to write on some objects, right? /start, and let me save. Yeah. So this policy we've created. Now here, if I try to upload any new object here, let me upload this particular image and try to upload. This time, guys, error come up. Okay, error come up. And if you try to understand this error is access denied, click here. They say you don't have permission to upload anything in this folder or bucket. Because we have bucket policy, we are not allowing star means anybody. Or we can write some IAM user ID or principal name that only these guys can upload. Okay, something like this. Okay, so that's what we have done here. Now, why I restricted this one? Because the plan is very simple. I want only upload the file that is encrypted. So again, I'll go to my bucket, or let me go to my policy generator. Let me close. And here, guys, I want to add a condition. Okay, add a condition. Okay, so condition would be something like this. I can add a condition and say there's a lot of condition here. Which time you want to allow, which principal you want to allow, any referent you want to allow, when some source IP you want to allow, source VPC you want to allow. So lots of things, guys, we have custom here. So let's say n equals to all the things. So let's say my condition is because let me go for null because my requirement is very little bit different here. My requirement is something like this. I want to only allow that only server side encryption. Okay, if this is the requirement. So if you go here and search S3, do you have any option for server side encryption? Yeah, this is the one. Or maybe KMS. So let me go for server encryption. Or let me give the value true. Okay, so what I wanted here, add condition. Okay, what I wanted here, only the thing I want to allow, everything I want to deny, but the things that I want to allow here is the server side encryption. If you upload the object with server-side encryption, then only I allow, otherwise I won't allow. Something like that. Okay, let me again generate. Okay, so let me close, again do it. Star S3 bucket policy, and for put put objects. Okay, ARN would be this particular bucket. This particular bucket. Okay, we start. So here I deny the put from anywhere on this bucket, but extra condition is if they are doing server encryption, then only I will allow. Okay, add statement and generate policy. Okay, so that this code has been developed. Okay, and I think the code is proper. Put object, this resource. I believe they added 2 times, but let me copy. Okay, and if I go to permissions, again go and edit this permission here. So technically, we are allowing if anybody from anywhere try to put, it's deny. But if the condition is this one, then I will allow. Okay, so there's a deny by default. Let me go for deny, then we'll do some changes. So let me go for changes here. This error come because you have to tell which resource, obviously. In this resource means all the objects. Okay, now if I try to upload the object, last time I see you guys when upload it failed, but let me upload one more time. Okay, one more time this image, but while uploading, right, I'll go to properties. And guys, there's a concept called encryption, and I'm going for SSC encryption because that's what I allowed here. So I'm asking somebody that if you want to allow upload, you have to upload with this encryption, or you have to upload with Glacier, or you have to upload with standard AI. So all those constraints you can guys define here. So what is this object class storage classes we have discussed already in my last class. So that's the meaning of policy. Just define your constraint, what policy you want to enforce here. Okay, so guys, here they deny again. Why they deny? Because according to my policy, this is also denied. So what I'll do, I will go to my bucket very quickly again, go to permissions. Okay, and there's again go edit and say anybody try to upload, deny. Anybody try to upload, okay, but condition is this one, then in this case don't deny, allow. Allow. So that's what I'm doing here. Even though guys there's no requirement of this block also, but let me go for this. If anything happens, we'll go and remove. Okay, so let me again upload the object. Add file. Okay, but here I'm again adding the property called encryption with SS3. Upload. Again they deny. Because again they don't allow. Because guys, one more thing you should know over here, if you add 2 permissions, okay, and they will go for like a, if somebody deny, so this permission denied, this allowed, because they say you are encryption, yes, so I allow, but they say there is no condition, in all the cases I deny. So if one statement deny or other statement allow, so the oral would be denied. So also keep this in mind. So let me delete this. I don't need this condition over here. Okay, and do we this curly braces? Let me save. Okay, now this time if I upload, what you will see, you will only upload the file if the file is encrypted. Okay, so let me go for encryption and upload. Maybe some small things I might miss here, but I believe guys now they are very much successfully uploaded. There's no challenge come up. Okay, why? Because we make a constraint. But if I try to upload any file, let me try to upload this file. Okay, without encryption, they also uploaded. Why? It shouldn't be. One minute. It shouldn't be uploaded. 1 minute. Have I missed something here? I think guys that this also matter the sequence of the policy. So I believe guys you understood the flow here. So just go and change the options up and down. You can just go and test. I think because I I remove that part of deny. Okay, so just go and swap this part and then it will work. Okay, or maybe write in the one single flow. Maybe let me start over very quickly, show you what I'm talking about. So let me again go for S3 policy bucket, start. And here I'm put object. 1 minute. Okay, and for this bucket name is this one. Okay, and at the same time just also apply the conditions. Automatically guys your code will work automatically come in proper format. So S3 server-side encryption, I want to allow it at the condition. Okay, and that's all. And add the state. So in one single block, actually last time I added 2 different blocks and generate policies. So now they guys come proper, actually proper block inside block come up, so it will work for us. Okay, and that's all. The copy, now it will work for us. But logic why you understand guys, but small changes you can go and try by yourself also. I don't want to further invest the time. Okay, and best. Okay, and here resource I would like to add all the objects. Okay, so action is put, effect is deny on this bucket. Okay, but for this condition I don't want to apply this deny. Okay, so I don't want to implement deny on this condition. Okay, and a user will be anyone who have power to upload in this bucket. So this what guys it work, and very quickly go and check. If I try to upload a file, let's say maybe anything, this one. Yeah, now it's not working, because you're not encrypted yet. But if we try to again upload this file, but this time I'm encrypting this file with SSE that already we discussed already in detail. Now it is very much successful. But if you again try to upload this file, okay, and now this time you are making your file encryption, right? but this time you're making encryption called KMS. What is KMS? You guys know, we discussed already. And if you try to upload with KMS, again, they allowed, because the core algorithm same, but we can add one more further constant here in the encryption that is called which algorithm type. Okay, so there's a further algorithm called SS3 encryption. So technically you can go to document and you can add, okay, I want to upload only file if it's SS3 or KMS. So you can find the more options there to do it. But technically this one advanced practical I want to show you, but it is working fine the way I want it. Okay, so so this what guys the policies. You can also try to copy paste this policy if you want to test in this way, or you can go for policy generator. So finally, the conclusion is if you want to set some constraint on your bucket, okay, which account file upload, what is as you want encryption or not, which time they can download. So anything and everything you can go and plan, and there's a good tool. Just go and check what options they supported, what actions they supported, and accordingly you can allow for what permissions, allow, deny, with some conditions you can do it. Similar kind of tool guys we had already discussed in IAM policy. Here there I explain you every bit about these keywords. So I don't want to invest my time to again explain you this keyword. There I had already explained to you, but I also want to show you S3 has their own IAM on bucket policy facility that is only applicable for the bucket. Okay, so this is one more topic guys I just wanted to discuss with. Okay, now next topic is let me delete all the policies. I don't have any policy. Okay, or do one thing, let me add a policy that will give me allow read. So any file that upload, it has a read permission. Okay, so I want to allow read for this bucket that I already showed to you. So in this bucket, anybody can allow to read means get any object. Just what I did. Okay, so right now these are the objects we have. Anybody who know the URL, they can access any of this file. Now there's one interesting concept guys S3 provide to you without creating a website. You know guys how to create a website. Maybe you can go for Beanstalk or EC2 instances, go and create your website and host your pages. But if your website is static, okay, typically means they are purely in HTML language or maybe CSS or JavaScript. Those websites are normally known as static. There's no server-side language like PHP or Python or Ruby or Java. So if your website is pure static, okay, so without creating your own server, host your server, S3 has a facility. You can put your website here and S3 will host your website. Only condition is if website is static. So how we can do this? So what I'm doing, I'm creating one website here. I'm creating a AWS S3 website is a workspace. Okay, and here guys I'm creating some web pages, and you guys know normally index.html is a web page that is a home page normally. Okay, and let me write here welcome from S3 for example. So these are basic simple page I have created. And it's also good practice guys in the website world, because normally somebody hit your website and they won't see that page. So rather than show you page not found 404, we can create some error page like e.html, something like this. Okay, or maybe 404.html, something like this, and say contact to add this number. Okay, something like this. So it's good practice normally always has error page or 404 page. If if this what a page my client is trying to hit, if this page is not available, we will present this page. So it looks pretty clean that you know how to handle the exception. Okay, now what can I do? I can upload these files in this bucket. So in document, AWS, and let me guys upload these document. And you guys know as soon as upload, it automatically become public. And guys, why is important to have public? Because normally website is public. So I want if anybody hit this pages, they can access it. So for this, you have to make your website. So you have to make these pages here. This page is called objects public, and because my bucket policy is public, so by default it become public. Okay. Now we have a lot of objects, a lot of files we have. Now you want this bucket will also work like a website. Okay. So if it work like a website, so to tell to S3 that in this website, who is and which is your home page and which is your error page. So for this, you have to go to, I believe in management. Okay. And if you go down, or maybe I think in the properties, so go down. Okay. There's option called static website hosting. It is by default disabled. Okay, but if you click edit, okay, do you want to enable website hosting? Yes. Do you want to host a static website? Yes. What is your index document name? So in my case, the page name is index.html. What is your error document name? In my case, is 404.html. Okay, that's all. So guys, pretty simple to host your website in S3 and change. That's all. Now website has been hosted. Okay, and here guys, they give you a URL. Okay, anybody who knows this URL, they can see your site. See guys, this home page come. But if somebody try to write some wrong page name here, does not exist. So automatically guys, rather than they give you 404 error, they will redirect me to this page that is a 404 page or error page of ours. So it's so simple to host a website. Okay, so that's the one thing. But here we have one challenge, and this challenge is not from the S3. This challenge is a concept of security that is there in your browser. What I mean by this? So there's a concept of CORS, CORS. What is CORS? Is a good security practice and management. For example, let's say this is one of your website. Let's say the name of the site is www.linuxworld.com. And let's say there's one more website in a different domain altogether. Let's say www.xyz.com. Okay. And here we are the client in our Chrome browser. Okay. So whenever you hit this website, okay, what a page you hit, for example, you hit home page. So all the content of the home page come to you because this is a static website. HTML, CSS, JavaScript come to you. What I mean by this, so if you hit this page and if you do Control U, this is a source code come up. So technically, if you have a static page, all the source code from the server come to you in the browser, and browser is the one who will parse this code. Okay, what I mean by this, let me do small changes in my code. So let me open this code and let me put this code in H1 header. Okay, let me also write some tag called img source. This is a pure HTML code, and here I'll put my image name because this code I'm going to upload in S3 in the bucket, and in the same bucket, okay, we have a file called vimel.jpg. So I can write here in the same location, you will find this page. Okay, I want to set a width of this image 100 pixels, height of this image 100 pixels. Is a pure HTML language. You guys might know HTML. Okay, and then I'll again upload this file. Upload, and now anybody hit my website again, this kind of site come up. But technically this is the HTML page. So technically what happened, if you see the right click and source code of this website, entire code of HTML, maybe CSS, JavaScript come to you. Okay, and because you come to the browser, so browser is the one who process it. So browser is the one who parse this code and run it. So maybe HTML, maybe CSS, JavaScript, whatever code is written, your browser is the one who internally download the code, run it, process it, and then give the output in the browser. And this is the output they show to you. Okay. Now what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, it's a very common practice nowadays in a lot of website, right? We write HTML code, especially the JavaScript code. Okay, and normally in the website, we write some kind of feed, live feed, maybe from Twitter or some other website. Okay, and what this code will do, of let's say for JavaScript, internally they keep on visiting this website. There's a different domain, different company URL, a different DNS name here, I can say, and keep on going and keep on downloading some information behind the scene, is not visible behind the scene and present somewhere in your browser, present somewhere in your page. Okay, one of the great example, anybody who know about web technology, right? There's a concept called AJAX, asynchronous JavaScript calls, or maybe synchronous call. So anybody who know JavaScript, okay, they know this concept. Okay, so technically what happened, I can see this site that I feel that I go to my main website. Let's say this main website is www.linuxworld.com. So you will think, guys, you visit this site, but in this site lots of content is keep on coming, or maybe once they coming from different domain altogether, from different URL altogether. Okay, but why they come from different URL? Because my developer of the website write some JavaScript for this. Okay, how? By some JavaScript AJAX calls or some other calls they write to do it. Okay, so anybody who by chance don't know JavaScript, or especially I'm talking about the Earth Learner. Okay, so there's some discussion on JavaScript we're going to discuss in upcoming class in IIC Rise channel. So I will explain you how JavaScript works. We'll see the code and multiple things we'll discuss there. But I just want to tell you very quickly, this is what happened. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm just creating one very quick JavaScript code. They can do something like this. Okay, but right now, before I do and get the things from different website altogether, or different domain or URL altogether, what I'm doing right now, let me write a JavaScript code. They'll pick a content from a different page from the same website. Okay, what I mean by this. So let me create one more page here. Okay, let me write a name called extra.html. And I'm doing hi extra. Save. So nothing special, just simple code, right? And let me upload this code here. And what's the plan? The plan is something like this. Okay, nobody know this page name in our public world. Okay, everybody know my home page name index.html. So anybody who hit index.html, this one, okay, so this website or this page will have some JavaScript code. The JavaScript code will go to other page. In my case, the other page is this one, extra.html. Pull the code, this called fetch the code. Okay, and put somewhere here. Okay, so how we can do, again guys, a pure JavaScript code. I don't want to explain in more detail, but it's something like this. Okay, so here let's say, guys, in HTML there's a concept called division. So I can start division, I can close division. Every division with good practice to give us some unique IDs. Let's say it's my div ID we given. Right now, guys, if you run this code, you will see nothing. If you run this code, there's nothing will come up. If you run this code over here, okay, it's empty, even though it's not visible. But what I want to write some JavaScript code. They will go somewhere, get the code, and place between this division. For this, we have to write some JavaScript code. And normally, guys, while JavaScript code we write in a block called script block. Script start, script close. Okay, and guys, there's a one keyword here. It's called document. Got get element by ID. Okay, so this is the element, division ID is my div. So I'll go to my 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 div here. Okay, so this is the one variable I'm going to create. Let's say is X. So X is the one who know the location of this block. Okay, it's like a pointer. Now there's a one function, guys, in the Java school called fetch function. And here we can tell the page name from where you want to fetch. By chance, guys, this page index.html is there in the same folder where we have extra.html. So I can directly give extra.html as my page name. So what this fetch will do, okay, this fetch will go fetch the data from there. Then dot means the continuous block. Okay, and here we write one function called response. So whatever response gonna come up, response gonna come up. Okay, I will return this response. Okay, return this response in a text format. Okay, so that's why I run. And after this, I keep on running this code again. Then, okay, I'll do one more thing here. Right, I'm passing this response in a HTML as an argument. Okay, format. HTML argument, and finally, this X that I know the address, I'll go and in their area, this is called inner HTML, I'll update this value. That's all. Okay, so that's what I want to do, and this I close. So guys, this is a just focus only in this part, that this area address we know by this. Okay, or in this area we'll updating some data, and this data coming from this response, and this response coming from this page. And by the time this page in the same this page is in the same website where we are. Okay, so let me upload this code. If I write the right code with no syntax, I believe, error. So let me upload this code again, because something we change here. So uploading in S3. Okay, and now if I refresh, if my code is right, it's not right, I believe. Entire code come up. Okay, so I don't know what is challenge in this code. Very quickly, let me check. So script started, script closed, document dot get element by ID. Okay, fetch I use, then the page name. After this page name, then I use response start, close curly braces, return response.txt is look good. Then in the HTML we are passing x dot inner HTML is capital equals to HTML. Looks good, right? Don't feel any challenge here. Maybe one thing I can try, that because the design is in the last, so let me cut this code here. Let me put the skip in the last. Okay, so again guys, we don't have to do this code which I want to show some extra interesting demo, so that's what I'm trying to prepare, otherwise not as all important. Okay, so one more try. Let me do. Why have the guys try this code one more time? Yeah, come up. I think because the sequence issue, now this come up. So now guys, there's no security challenge. Let's say this is your website, is not www.linuxworld.com, and both the pages, right? Your index page and extra page is in the same domain. And guys, by the way, according to the Chrome browser or according to the client, this URL or this domain is known as origin. So both the page is in the same origin. It means both the page belongs to us. We are the owner of it. Okay. So if one page want to call other page internally behind the scene, they can do, because both the page we own and come from the same origin. So no challenge come up and there's no meaning of security here. Okay. But if this page is not here, it is there in the different domain, different website altogether. Okay, then it will not work. Okay, let me show you. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to create a different website, and the best way to create a different website is to create different bucket. Okay, so because if you create a different bucket, it will be a different domain. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm going to create one more bucket. I'm giving the name called Linux World B bucket 2021, and I'm guys putting all together in different region in Singapore. Okay, and let me allow all, so I can, okay, it will be a public website. Okay, and that's all. So this is a new website I created. Technically is a bucket. Okay, but in this bucket I'm going to yeah, I'm going to enable the website. Okay, and as you enable the website, and because it's a different bucket, actually you have to give index page name. Let me give some randomly. This might not be there. That's okay right now. Okay, so it become a new website altogether. Okay, because if you see, is the domain name is very different. So the guys, this website is this website xyz.com. Just think in this way. Okay, and now what I'm doing here, let me upload one page in this website. Upload, add page, and here I'm uploading extra page. Okay, upload. So here guys, in this website I upload the extra page. Now the challenge scenario here is my actual website has no extra page. They have only home page. Other domain, other website here, other bucket has this extra page. Now what I wanted, before this, let me check everything working good or not. So also guys, let me make this page public, so everybody can use this. Okay, and let me go to my bucket and get the URL of my website. So this is a different website altogether. And here we have extra.html. I'm just checking everything working or not. So yeah, working. So this website that you see here, you can see LW bucket B. This is name B. Okay, is a different website, and this website has this extra. Now, what are our requirement is? Our requirement is pretty simple. In my main website, that's origin. My developer has write this code. Okay, but in this code, we are looking for extra page, and this extra page is not at all available in my website. This page is coming from a different website altogether. And because your main website is origin, so in this case, a different website is or different domain is known as cross origin. The page that we are looking for is there in the cross origin. And by the way, guys, this page is also known as resources. So I want my cross origin share their resources. That is called chorus, cross origin resource share. But is this by default not allow because of security? There's a lot of security attacks, guys. If you know access attacks, right, or cross origin attacks. So there are a lot of security attacks reasons. Because of this, your browser is not security from this website or this website. Normally in the browser, they have come up with a security that anybody try to access cross origin resource sharing, we won't allow, because a lot of JavaScript attacks exploit is available in the market if you do so, if your browser allows. Okay, so this security is there in the browser. So let me show you. So let's say my developer has changed and say, I want to access this particular URL. We give the entire URL here. Okay, and this is the different website altogether. Okay, and we change something in the code. So let me upload my code in my S3. So I'll go to my origin website. My origin website is LWA. Okay, let me upload this file again because we changed something here. Okay, now this time everything is same. Only difference is we change the URL of getting a page called extra.html, and now they are coming from a different cross origin, different domain altogether. Okay, so in this case, now if you refresh, guys, last time my data come high extra C here. But if I again refresh, okay, this data gone. Okay, technically there's no error come up because browser, this HTML, if any error come in the HTML, browser doesn't show you, or any error come in JavaScript, browser doesn't show you, but remaining part they show to you. There's in turn some error come up. If you really want to see the error, you can go for so I again connected. Actually, I've clicked F12 in my laptop. F12 is airplane mode, so my internet goes off. So I'm clicking function key F12. Okay, it open your developer mode of your browser, and if you click on the console here, guys, you can see background error come up. Okay, so when the last time when you refresh, this error was come up, and they say you are trying to go, you are in this URL, and this URL is trying to fetch some data from a different cross origin, and that is blocked by default because of security. So it is disabled by default. Okay, and why disabled? Why disabled? Because your browser right now is the one who processes your HTML and JavaScript. Okay, technically, internally, your browser first go and visit this website and say you are the one where we are coming. Okay, so can you please tell me that in your website the cross origin is enabled or not? Okay, so they say no, it's not enabled. So browser come back and they say it's not, because the cross origin not enabled there. So there's no meaning to go and fetch the data So they give this error. So they say we go there with this HTTP header. Okay. And and they say there is no nothing is means chorus is not enabled, so we block this request. Okay, so what to do? Okay, we have to enable this. So you have to go to your cross origin website. Okay, depend guys, your cross origin website is has been what I say is in different which server, right? Accordingly, go and enable it. Right now, our website is there in in S3 bucket. So what I'll do in S3 bucket, we have options to enable cross origin. So I'll go to my B website. Inside B website, if I go to properties, okay, inside the properties, I believe you can see the option called not here, maybe in permission, might be maybe in the permission or maybe management. Yeah, here. Okay, so you have to go and enable the cross resource sharing. Okay, you have to enable this, and for this we have to write some code what to enable. Okay, so I'll edit this and write something here. But guys, here you write some code in JSON. You can go and take the help of the manual how we can write. So you just click on chorus configuration. Here they give you some examples. I can copy paste the example from here. So let me copy this entire example from this document. Okay, and let me paste it. So let me pick some of the things. So allowed header, maybe let's say anybody. Allowed method, because technically we are going there to get the data. So method is get. Get. We don't need any put and delete. I just need get. Allowed origin is, so in our case, who is the origin? So my main origin is this one, where they are the one who pulling this extra file. So where is the origin? You have to give the URL. Guys, can hold for a second, please. Can hold for a second. Okay. So right now, guys, I'm here. And here we are enabling the chorus. And obviously you have to tell who is coming to you. So in my case, this origin coming. So you have to give the URL of that origin. Okay. And what's the URL? This is the URL. This is my main website, origin. I can say here and update here. So who is the origin? This one. Okay. Don't write slash here. Slash means a different. Write the domain name, because if I write slash normally mean this page or home page. So just type till your domain. So this is the website who will come behind us. Okay, so that's the only thing I need, and there's one more block I don't need because I picked this from my example. 1 minute, please. I don't need this, and I also don't need this. Okay. So that's so guys, this is the chorus we have to write. I believe this is the right chorus. Okay, so simple. We are allowing, we go, means technically I am here in my cross origin wxyg.com, and there I say anybody who come from this origin, only for get request we allow them. Okay, and they will come on the header. So I will allow all the header, but technically it's not good practice. You can go for some limited header like authorization, something like this. So that's what you can do, but I don't want to further make it more complex. Okay, and save change. Now this permission is been added. Now if everything work good, if I run refresh again, now guys see, it's so cool, your data come up. And if you run again F12, there is no error come up. Even though if I refresh again, say there is no chorus error come up. And this is very common, guys. This is a very common concept, right? When you create any website or web app, there is a lot of JavaScript or Ajax code we do behind the scene. They're pulling the data from multiple different websites. Okay, how to pull? We can use JavaScript or Ajax. Okay, but if they don't allow chorus, it won't work. But typically, all the live feed sites, they have a chorus enable, so there's no SS enable. There's no SS challenge, but just keep this thing also in mind. Okay. So this is one more very advanced concept I explained to you. One more last thing about S3. S3 is this one. So let's say if you're two buckets, okay, if you're two different buckets, okay, and if this bucket, let's say in Mumbai, this bucket, let's say in Virginia, and what I want, let's say these are my main bucket. What did I put in this bucket? Okay, it automatically copy to this bucket. Technically, I want to make a backup, or maybe you can use the word for replication. But there is one difference: backup and replication. When I say backup, backup means when you copy here, after 1 hour, 2 hours, you go run some script, they will do a backup of it. Okay, so here I'm not talking about a backup, I'm talking about replication. Replication means as soon as I copy this file, the same time they will copy it. On mostly automated. That's called replication. Okay, so if you want to create a backup, but with the replication perspective, how we can do it. So S3 guys has a facility to go for replication. Now they support both. Okay, if this is a different region and different region, so they have a replication support in multi-region also. Or if both the bucket is in same region, they support same region replication also. So both the region replication they support. Okay, so how we can do it? Let me do it very quickly. So this is the bucket I have. Okay, and what I'm doing right now in this bucket, because just for replication, you should have versioning enabled. Otherwise, it won't work. So I'll just go and enable the versioning. What is versioning, guys? In initial class, we talked already. It's like version control. Okay. So in this bucket, I am enabling the versioning. We have one more bucket. Okay. Here also, guys, I'm enabling the versioning. Okay. And by the way, guys, one of my bucket is there in the Mumbai, and my other bucket was there in Virginia region or Singapore region. So if you want to go for replication over here, okay. So then I think in the management you go, okay, and in the management there's option called replication rule. And here you can go and click on create a replication rule. Just write some number, let's say 1. Do you want to enable replication? I say yes. Okay. And what is source bucket? So I am the source,
in the Mumbai. Okay, so do you want to replicate all the files, or you have some rule that in your bucket you have multi-folder, only that folder bucket folder file you want to upload, or in my case I want to upload all. So all the object in this bucket I want to replicate. Okay, now where, so you are the source, who is your destination? Okay, now they have the option, guys, cross account also. So I can, if I know your account ID, I can put your account ID, and I can create a replica in your account also, or I can go for a specific bucket in so in other account I can go and put your account ID, I can go for my account. Okay, so I'm doing a bucket in my account. So they support both cross region replications for CRR and same region replications for SR. Now in my case, guys, I'm Mumbai, my other bucket in Singapore, so I'm going for cross region replication. What you do, nothing special, just go and click and just give your bucket name. So in my case is B, that is there in the Singapore. That's all. Okay, and obviously, guys, two buckets are connecting each other. There are two different services. We have to create an IAM role. Good thing is, guys, they will create a role for you. Just select this, they automatically create a role for you. Okay, and if it is encryption, then you can click here and provide your key. They will auto decrypt and copy there. Okay, in my case, I don't have, and that's all. And save. So that's all, guys. Automatic, guys, they will do a replication in two different regions. Sometimes if you copy your data from one region to other region, it is sometimes also known as geo replication, because geographically, guys, we are copying a data from here and there. Okay, so now it's done. So whatever data you have in your this bucket will be replicated to other bucket. Okay, and they're doing asynchronously because they are they are different region altogether. Async means not exactly right now. Async, you guys may know, right? So I don't want to elaborate further. So now what you will see, what are data I have in this bucket, okay, will be copied here. Understand one small thing. Okay, they will do replication now onward. What data you had, it won't work. So you have to properly plan initially you want replication or not. Okay, then you start putting the data. But right now this data won't copy here. But any new data, if I upload, let me upload new data. Okay, let's say maybe let's say this one. IC dot. So as soon as I upload this data in my current Mumbai bucket, it automatically being synced in a very different region altogether behind the scene with the help of AWS own personal private network. Okay, and they will replicate it over here. So if I refresh, it takes some second actually. You can see, guys, it come up. This will auto replicate. Okay, but one small thing, if I delete this this particular file, okay, so because, guys, my versioning is enabled. So versioning means it only take that this file is deleted, but it's not deleted behind the scene. That's called delete marker. So I can roll it back. So, guys, this file is deleted. When we click on show versioning, so they added in this file some delete marker. Technically look like it's deleted, but it's not deleted. They just select delete marker. So any delete marker come up means in Mumbai it look like it's deleted. Okay, but this option, guys, doesn't retrieve or be in sync with the different region. So we see the versioning there. It's not there. If you keep on refreshing, it won't come. So technically, if you delete something, I want to say here, delete something in the Mumbai, it won't delete in the in the Virginia region or Singapore region. But if you want to also apply delete also, if somebody deleted on Mumbai, they also delete there. So for this, you again go to permission. No permission. What we were discussing, you go in your application here, go and edit this rule what I created, and there's an option here called also sync delete marker also. So enable this option. Okay. So what happened if you delete something in one region, they will also delete it there. If they don't delete, they just put the delete marker, so we can roll back if you want, because this is versioning is enabled. Okay. So guys, this is also one more concept about replication. So it's powerful tool, as a good practice, especially for the disaster recovery kind of things. So all the bucket you can start replicating in your account, or maybe you have some separate account to keep on posting there. That's all. Okay, this one thing. One more thing, guys, I want to tell you in last. We had discussed about. We have already discussed about different different kind of storage classes. Okay, so when you upload any file, so while uploading, this option come up called storage classes. I talked in very detail about all those classes. Okay, about their properties, their prices, all the things. Okay, so what can we do, guys? We can do some kind of planning here. What planning? Maybe we know when upload some file, this file is when upload, because normally our auditing company need this file of 7 days, and very frequently we want to access, so we can keep our file in the standard plan for 7 days. After this, as such, they don't use so frequently, we can go for standard AI. Okay, speed will be slow. Okay, but they charge you also less. And I know after 70-80 days, there's very limited my team gonna use this, so we can put in Glacier. So speed is very slow in the terms of retrieval speed, but charges are very, very much less. Okay, so rather than, we can do this thing manually also. Manually, I show you how to do it. From one to other, we can change. But if you think this is a very normal standard you need of your data, first we always need frequent data for 7 days, very infrequent data for 30 days, and very limited want to retrieve maybe in a year once or twice. Okay, so you can set the life cycle of your data and everything to be automated. You don't have to manually do it always. Okay, so for this, guys, in your bucket, you set once. In your bucket, you can set once the life cycle rules, and you can create a life cycle rule. Okay, that will automatically transition your object for one class to other class. Or maybe we can plan also delete after this. Maybe after, let's say in the banking data, I want to delete after 7 years. So I don't want to keep my data after 7 years, for example. We can go and say after 7 years, go and delete this. So we can create a rule of lifecycle. Okay. And here we can create a rule. So I want my current version to be the in stores class. Which one? Standard one. Day after object creation, let's say for 7 days. Okay, then I want to send this guy to maybe this one for, let's say, for 30 days. After this, I want they go to Glacier, they keep there for, let's say, this much days. Okay, so this is one kind of rules we can create and acknowledge and save it. Now in this bucket, now you don't have to worry about any new version of my object come up. Okay, so that new version of my data will be there for 7 days in this one. So the speed of return will be faster. Obviously, they charge you a lot, but after 7 days, the same data they automatically move to this one. So speed is lesser, but the charges always also be less. So this kind of life cycle plan you can create per bucket basis. And they give this kind of diagram over here. Okay, so that's also cool, guys, to have this kind of rules ready, especially if you have lots of data come up and you have to plan for for your speed and the cost management. Everything to be automated. Okay, everything to be automated. So minimum here is 30 days required. In this case, again, some days, at least 30 days. So just go and check. I don't know. The value for OA must be at least 30 more than the value. So, so minimum this whatever they have planned, go and use this rule created. Now, guys, in this bucket, you don't have to worry about automatic. This life cycle will manage the life cycle of your data. Any new object come up or new version come up, they keep it for 30 days there, then 70 days, then 300 days, or something like this. So there's the better plan you can go. So, guys, now what we are doing now, if you see the agenda of, I'm talking about CSA, okay, almost every topic, or actually the main topic we have covered in the CSA, even though maybe according to AWS agenda, maybe the topic, maybe ECS was there, just for example. So they put the ECS there as an overview, and there is a 5 and 10 minute discussion they say you should have, but I given 100 times more time on this topic. Just one example. It's like these other topics also. So according to me, what agenda, according to the global program, okay, 300% more content with lots of practical, guys, we have done. Or almost all the main topic with pure practical use case we have covered. So today I want to conclude CSA training. Okay, I know it's been very long from our side, I can say, due to some reasons, but the good thing and bonus thing will be, guys, we have to learn lots of things in detail with a lot of practicals that you know already. So today is the last day for CSA training is concluded. Okay, from my side, anybody who is planning to go for a CSA examination, okay, whatever we had discussed, almost 99 or 98 above percentage will come from this topic only, whatever I explain you practically. If you has gone through this practical, this concept, passing the examination won't be a big deal. But but anybody who want to go for CSA examination, as we committed, we guys help you in exam boot camp question set. Okay, so we'll rotate a form. Anybody who is going for this examination of CSA, we will provide you some exam practice set. Okay, go for this set. And again, 95% and above question normally come from this set only. So this also will provide to you. But otherwise, if you go, have done the things practically, passing the examination is not big deal. Even though I've seen a lot of posts from you guys, most of you guys have given the examination, they pass. So it's great thing. But there is a very small topic as a overview perspective. Okay, is there in the CSA. Just for example, very small discussion on DynamoDB, very small discussion on data base management services. So very small topic is there. Okay, I can say 5-minute topic, but I don't take our training in this way to just talk only in PPT for 5 minutes and conclude the class. So what I'm thinking, guys, for extra bonus for you guys as CSA, there's 2 or 3 small topic is there in the CSA is a very basic overview discussion. So rather than I just discuss 5 minutes and complete this topic to sake of completion this program 100%. Okay, what I'm doing, guys, those topic is there in detail in my developer track. So whenever this topic come up, very small topic there, for example, a small discount DynamoDB or some 2 or 3 topics. Okay, when this topic come in my developer track, then I'll take this topic in database in advance. So guys, we'll ask you, we'll provide you a link. Okay, so anybody who want to join in that detailed way, you can guys come and join. So there's no charge for you. It again bonus for the guys who are there in CSA. So I'm not saying everything of the developer tech we are going to provide you, but the small topic that is there in the CSA will provide you that link. You can come and join and do it. But for the exam perspective, okay, more than 95% content will come from our topic that we had discussed in this class, and plus the exam set that we'll share with you. But we'll share the exam set only for those guys who are going for the exam. Okay, but officially, I want to conclude this class. Conclude this class, and that's all, guys, from my side. Okay. So guys, I know it's very long. It's very long. This class is going on, but thanks very much to guys to be very much patient. Understandable from our side, our situation. So thank you very much for joining. I want to conclude with you guys again from tomorrow. Continue with the CSA developer topics. Okay, and we keep on posting the link of the classes of the developer in your respective CSA group. Okay, of those topics, so you guys can go some more in advance in some of the topics. Okay, so that's all from my side. Any questions, any queries, if you have, you guys can ask me.